Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Marie Harvey. I am owner of MyoPro Institute and the lead instructor. So what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about body mechanics and some strokes. So one of the first things once we have our patient on the table, what we want to make sure of is that our sheet is even, because as we're draping, you're going to be pulling that sheet and you don't want to get short sheeted on the side. So that's one of the things you want to get yourself in the habit of doing as you're draping. So the first thing we're going to talk about is effleurage. And effleurage is our basic stroke. It's our beginner stroke for a Swedish massage. It's going to be the stroke that we use to spread our oil. It's going to be the stroke that we use in between as a transition stroke. And like I always like to say, when in doubt, effleurage it out, right? So it's a nice, even in-between stroke that we can do. Now, as we're working, what we want is our basic stances, right? So we know the basic stances. We have a lunge stance that's going to allow us to move up and down the table, long strokes. So effleurage normally uses our lunge or our archer stance. And then we have a horse stance or warrior. And this allows us to work in front of ourselves. So like when we're doing pétrissage. So let's start out with a little heart effleurage. This is going to be a superficial version, just to kind of spread our oil. And one of the premises behind effleurage is our hands should melt around the contours of the body. We shouldn't have hard hands. The whole entire surface area of your hand should be on the body, right? As we're starting the back, first strokes, very light, because we want to get as much oil on the body as possible. As you're standing here for heart effleurage, what you want to be is in your lunge. Your foot is going to be on the outside of the table, right? So if my foot is on the inside and I lunge forward, I'm going to hit the table. What I want is it out here. So now it gives me greater range so I don't have to hurt my back as I go through. Each stroke that I'm doing is going to gradually get a little deeper. And then I come down through and I can work on our deep ironing, right? So we still have our full hand on the body. My pressure is coming from the heel of the hand. When we're working on the back, it doesn't matter if we're going centripetal or not, because it's all center mass. So I can actually go both ways. We want to lighten up right at the bottom of the rib cage. You don't want to have any deep pressure over those floating ribs or that kidney area. Remember, those are endangerment sites. We don't want to be directly on spinous processes. And again, because I don't have to go centripetal, I can change. So I can change it up and work up the body. Another effleurage stroke is circular. So my inside hand is going to be doing a full circle. Outside hand does a half circle. This is a nice, easy, calming, relaxing stroke that you can do around joints. So this can be done around greater trochanter, around the shoulder. And again, deep ironing, we're using the heel of our hand as we come up through. The rest of my hand is still on the body, right? So if you want to imagine your hand as a piece of butter on a big pancake, your hand should be melting over the body. I shouldn't be coming up like this. It should be soft. The more surface area of my hand I have on the body, the less number of strokes that I have to do to get to the whole area, okay? And those are your 3 basic effleurage strokes, right? So we have heart effleurage, which is one of our, oh, we have a moth joining us today. Heart effleurage is one of the superficial. It's a good starting stroke. It's a good ending stroke, kind of pulling everything together. We have deep ironing, which is going to be done after superficial, right? Superficial is going to warm the tissue, get it ready for that deeper work. And then we have circular, which can be done over the joints. All right, so join me for the next one and we'll talk about petrissage.